Welcome back to Trillium Tarot. This is Stephanie, and I seem to be competing with the neighbor's lawnmower, so I apologize for the background noise. I am really excited about this deck. As soon as I saw this on Kickstarter, I entered my support order. Mice, I don't want them in my house, but my mom enjoyed collecting little mouse figurines and so on. She thought they were really cute. So when I saw this deck, it instantly reminded me of my mom and how she collected mouse figurines and mouse, doodads, the way moms collect. This deck comes with I did order the story art book. Make this a bit bigger, because when the artists created this deck, they created a whole backstory about the 4 different lands for the 4 different suits and the types of personalities that lived in each area. And this coral cup is a city of adventurers and orators, bards, and fishers that control the naval traffic. So it's just a cute concept for a deck. I do need to sit down and read this whole story. They put a lot of work into this. And this deck comes in 2 different versions. The one that I'm showing you on this video is the MIMIT, the Big Mice Tarot. But I also have the MIMIT, the mini version of the deck. That's the much smaller one, like the purse-size version. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let me make sure my camera is in the right spot here to show the whole cards. As I dive into showing you the cards in this deck, please do give the video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. It doesn't cost anything, and it does help the channel out a lot. There was something else that I was going to say, but it has completely escaped me, so we'll just move on. So as you can see, some of the cards have the same concept as the Rider-Waite-Smith artwork. Some of them are completely different, and I believe that's because they went ahead and are illustrating the story behind the artwork and the suits and so on. We'll probably see more of that individuality or creativity once we get into the minor arcana cards. But for the most part, the major arcanas are at least similar in theme to what most of us learned on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Now, I believe that there are a few extra cards in this deck, and I believe that they will be immediately following the major arcana. I think I arranged them so that I could go into those as we're wrapping up the major arcana. So we'll just see. We're almost to the end. Judgment and then the World. Okay. So here we have one of the extra cards. The extra ones have a musical note at the top, and this is called the First. You can see that at the bottom. Then we have the Guardian, the Bard, the Veil, the Observer, the Voice, and finally, the Last. And I'm sure all of those cards will come into play as I read the storybook. And then I'll decide if I want to use them in readings or not. Because they're not a traditional part of the deck. They're just definitely add a fun element, though. So here we are looking at the Suit of Swords. You can see the sword on the top. And you can just, as I'm flipping through this, you can see the differences in the imagery between this deck and the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. Now the 6 is the same. It's a boat image. Somebody's getting into something they're not supposed to. By the way, I know that I am taking my time with this deck just because I find it adorable. If I'm moving too slowly or too quickly for you, feel free to adjust the playback speed on your YouTube window. So that wraps up the suit of swords. Now we are going to the suit of wands. You can see the wand at the top. So when you go hit that gear and go into your YouTube settings, you can adjust the playback to be whatever speed you would like it to be, either half speed or 1.5 times speed, and so on. Ooh. Snake was not to be trifled with. Here we have the 10 of wands, page. Oh, look at the knight is riding a bunny. The queen, and finally the king. And before I set this deck aside, I want to see what the knight in the previous suit was riding. Oh, he was riding is that a duck? It certainly isn't a chicken. It looks like a duck. All right, so now I'm curious. I'm sucked in. I want to see what the next two knights are riding. So here we have the suit of cups. You can see the cup at the top. Here's the ace. Oh, that was a cute little couple of mouses. Now, I will tell you, even though my mom collected figurines and I find this deck adorable, my baby cat a couple years ago found a mouse. She's the first cat I've ever had from a kitten. So I heard the squeaking in the kitchen, and okay. So the knight is riding a bunny as well, the Knight of Cups. So I heard the squeaking in the kitchen, went in and saw what was happening, and promptly freaked out. So I went back to the living room, and the baby cat had no idea what was going on. Okay, so this is the suit of pentacles. So she carried her mouse toy back in and dropped it between my feet, and I pretty much lost my mind. I did end up grabbing the mouse and tossed it outside, but yeah, I'm not a fan of live mouses in the house, shall we say. 9, 10, that was a story you totally didn't need to hear, but I felt the need to share, so there we go. And the Knight of Pentacles is also riding a bunny, so I wonder why that first one was riding a duck, because I think all of the other 3 were riding bunnies. Interesting. Again, I'll have to refer to the storybook. That brings me to the end of the deck. I hope you enjoyed this. I find this deck adorable. You can order this. Just do a search for MIMIT, M-I-M-I-T, or BIMIT, B-I-M-I-T. Let me take a quick look on the outside of I don't see a web address on the outside of the box. Well, here, I can at least show you the creators' names. BIMIT by Howell and Ezd, E-Z-D. So if that helps you track it down, more power to you. As a reminder, please do give the video a thumbs up because it really does help the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching and for humoring me as I blathered on about how adorable this deck is. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to the next video.